Do you believe that life is happening for you? Hello, everyone. Welcome to my channel. No sight required. Please stick around. I'd love to share with you some really interesting information that has the potential of changing your life, if you let it. Not only do I desire to share with you, I also desire that you share with me and everyone else who would leave comments in the comments below. I've always much preferred to be the person who learns and grows rather than the person who thinks that they know everything. Because the truth is, I absolutely don't know everything. Together, however, we can collaborate our knowledge and evolve as a result. So, I'm offering what I've previously learned that has helped me immensely. And in the comments, you can share what you've also learned as well. So let's do this thing together. If you have returned to this video from my previous videos in this series, welcome back. I'm thrilled that you are joining me today. I do my very, very best to keep these videos on point in a timely fashion. I, I, I know that you're busy, and I respect that. And I also know that life is happening and you just want to get on with it. So let's do this. But first of all, for the newbies, I have created a series of 5 videos that explain particular ways of being that directly influence our experiences in life. And once you understand these different perspectives, you can better navigate your life, especially when shit hits the fan. No one is immune to stuff happening. Would you agree? I've chosen my purpose in life to be a guide based on my personal experiences to help others navigate life in a way that brings them joy and peace and harmony and balance and true lasting happiness. I express my passions as an energy healer or a light worker, as a Reiki master, a writer producing lots of content, one of them being an international best-selling book called The Blind Girl Sees, and an online course titled Navigating Life's Storms. I'm also a happy for no reason trainer and all-around positive change maker. My name is Amber, and again, welcome. So in the last video of this series, Life Happens, I briefly discussed a particular way of being that doesn't support a sense of peace and well-being. It's a contracted behavior that keeps us stuck and not accountable for most of our actions. It's where we tend to take a little, just not enough responsibility for our behavior, our actions, and our decisions, and our life in general. Much of that is due to our limiting beliefs and negative thinking that has had complete control and dominion over our lives. It's because my parents did this to me that I'm this way. I did what I did because I had no choice. They made the mistake, not me. They need to be made responsible. They are the ones to blame. And so on and so on. So, all your negative beliefs and negative habitual thoughts and behaviors have created neural pathways in the brain that over time has made it impossible to eliminate a limiting belief by making a simple decision to do so. You have to create instead new neural pathways, new groups that supports an empowering belief. And in doing so, your life experiences begin to transform for the better. It does start with a decision, however. We also need, though, to back that decision up with a solid plan of action. And I call these solid plans of actions a plan of action that is healthy, happy habits. So, with a more expanded way of being, we begin to adopt beliefs and a thinking train of thoughts that support us and that life isn't out to get us at all. What if everything that was going wrong in your life right now was actually going right? That every rejection was actually a redirection? That every appeared failure was actually success in disguise? That all the struggles were actually shaping you for something better, bigger? So consider that life isn't happening to you at all, but rather for you. So this is the second way of being. Life is happening for me, for you, for us. So please, again, stick around for a bit. If you've been following me and all along, you will know that I created these videos to help guide individuals who are feeling emotionally heavy, discontented, dismayed, disempowered in their life. Like myself, a midlifer, we are seeing such turmoil and upheaval and change in our life right now that I believe we have, you know what, even though we have a plethora of great reasons to be grateful and joyful and genuinely happy, with a deep sense of stability within us to make our life work and to live and love regardless of what is going on in our lives and all around us. It's about our perspective and how we see our world. Now, as a blind person with extreme impaired vision, I've learned to see my world differently. And through my own life experiences, I'm going to share what I've learned throughout my life that has taken me from a person who was, for lack of a better word, stumbling and falling down often throughout my life, to one that I can actually emphatically say, I'm authentically happy, no matter what. So this channel is about exploring ways to be happy for no reason at all, fulfilled, joyful, living with a sense of inner peace and well-being. So let's begin with me asking you a question. With all of the beliefs we have carried throughout our life, do you have one that supports a deep knowing that the divine source energy, spirit, and most commonly known, God, is actually working with and for us to guide, support, protect, and love us as we navigate through our lives? Some of the happiest people believe this, and they feel that it is absolutely possible to think, feel, act, and believe this, and similar beliefs as well. So while in this state of being, that life is happening for you, you don't believe that the universe, God, divine spirit is working for you only when things are going good. People in this state of being actually believe that the universe always has their back, especially when things are not going well. So how is this belief sustainable when life is seeing that we're seeing life and it's serving us up crap, okay? That everything that could go wrong is going wrong, and that what you are, who you are, and what you're experiencing at your lowest moments, that life is actually working for you? Seriously? So in past, I have often said and heard others say, what did I do wrong to deserve this? Sound familiar? As in that life is happening to you? You'll find that in the previous video. Or, how on earth is this for my highest good? Where is God supporting me now? Now, what I've found in my own personal experience, after the fact, of course, was that the universe was actually supporting me. I couldn't see it at the moment, of course, because a part of my brain just wasn't focused on the possibility of it. I was completely stuck in the problem, the issue, the challenge, or the crisis. Let me give you a couple of examples. A marriage breakdown at 27 years old taught me about compassion and understanding. Something I would need later on at 45 during another relationship breakdown. A bankruptcy at 29. It taught me to have more respect for money. And as a result, it gave me the tools to sustain greater wealth in my 50s. Repeated family deaths in succession over a very, very short period of time taught me about emotions, that it's okay to have them and to feel that the grief process is actually healthy and it is a natural process that we must go through. And it's how to build a resilient nature through positive psychology. Now, the biggest one to date is when I lost my vision at 50. It challenged two of my very deeply rooted, lifelong limiting beliefs that absolutely governed everything I did. That I couldn't trust anyone, and that asking for help, it meant that I was weak and that people would take advantage of me. So while experiencing blindness in the beginning, I absolutely had no choice but to ask for help and to trust that I was able actually to maintain a high level of independence by asking for help. Now, this altered my limiting beliefs in extraordinary ways. What I discovered was that my blindness isn't a disability at all. It was my former sighted self and my behaviors that was the true disability. So these weren't instant realizations, as you can well imagine, of course. However, in hindsight, these events absolutely had to happen. They had to. And guess what? I'm grateful for them all. By assuming that the universe is on our side, even if it doesn't seem like it, it's not obvious at the time, it will inevitably help us through the hardships that we experience. My thoughts often take me to a poem that I referenced a lot in my past. It's called Footprints, and I believe that the author of that was I think it was Mary Stevenson, but I'm not positive. And of course, this isn't word for word, but it goes something along the lines of during times of trial and suffering, when you see only one set of footprints in the sand, it was then that I carried you. I love that poem. And what it teaches us is about comfort in having a higher power guide, support, protect, and love us through and always by us having faith and trust in it. So this presence, known and named differently, is actually supporting us for our highest growth and learning. And so when challenges and setbacks and pop-up problems happen in our life, it is an opportunity to see them not as challenges at all, but as a redirection to what is our highest good. I like to say that my setbacks are really, they're setups, setting me on a path that I'm supposed to be on. And when we can adopt that belief and that the emotions that support that our setbacks are, well, they're more like guideposts, actually. leading us to higher and higher levels of awareness and understanding. You know what? It can actually be a reason to get excited with, anticipation that better things are coming. So there is another part, however, in this way of being that I can't avoid talking about here. Being a gal that sees my life as a glass half full rather than half empty, I would be doing you and everyone a disservice if I didn't mention this as well. Again, I speak of these ways of being based on my own life's experiences. In all of life, there's, well, what I call the teeter-totter effect. In this way of being, there is also the behavior of being entitled, privileged. It's like a behavior of, well, it's unhealthy, okay? Now, I'm not going to go into the use of terms of narcissism or the like, because remember, I am not a psychologist, a psychiatrist, a behavioral therapist, a coach, or even a counselor. I am just simply speaking merely from being in the trenches of life. And when, you know what, at times my life went completely sideways and got super duper messy. So, shortly after leaving college, newly married, starting a business, and you know what? I was gaining some pretty good traction. My life was really, really quite grand. That was during my early 20s. But what happened? I got pretty cocky and self-absorbed. I came up short on some values, and compassion and empathy wasn't on the highest, wasn't in the higher hierarchy. And none of that turned out well, as you can well imagine. I felt that, you know what, by earning my black belt, by experiencing some pretty nutty stuff in my life, you know what, that I began to feel that I was deserving and entitled, that I had earned the good times, that life, the universe, God, well, they owed me. And with that, you can well imagine what humility is all about. I fell off my pedestal pretty hard. Yeah, but guess what? Good thing I did. Even during that time, as I said earlier, I was supported, guided, protected, and loved by the divine. In all of life, we're gifted with imagination, choice, and will, which I'll discuss in more depth in the next video. So please remember one thing. God, the universe, divine source energy, however you wish to name this presence, doesn't cause our suffering. We do, folks. This I'm certain of. So here's an exercise that will help support this belief that life is actually for you. It's a journaling process. It's an exercise that I used many, many times in my own life, where I learned after the fact, of course, that the things that I thought were unimaginable and should never have happened to me in my life was actually for my highest good. So after observing my past, being reflective, I became thankful for those situations. And I often hear others say the same thing. Well, I'm glad that happened, as it taught me whatever it taught them. So now, in your quiet time, journal some of the major things that happened in your life, some of the major challenges that you experienced, and look beyond the story. What did it teach you? How did you grow because of it? What is your life like today because of your past? Who are you being today because of that very situation? Now, you know what? Doing this journaling exercise, well, hopefully it should bubble up some emotions of gratitude and thankfulness. And you know what? Even forgiveness. Now, I truly hope this exercise really helps to bring peace and love into your heart. In my next video, I'm going to be discussing the third way of being, that life is happening because of you. I'll see you there, and thank you for taking your time away from other things and hanging out with me. Again, I respect your time. If you find that what I'm sharing has been super duper helpful, you know what? Please like and share it. And by sharing as well as subscribing, you know what you're doing? You're a part of the bigger whole. You are helping me get my videos recognized by the algorithms and putting it in front of people who really need to hear this. How would you feel knowing that you helped another soul navigate their life at a time that they really needed it most? So let's do this thing together, okay? Also, in the description box below, you will see all the other content that I offer, as well as some free stuff for you. Go help yourself. I'll see you in the next video, and I hope your day blooms in beautiful ways.